Hi, guys. I'm David with Transparency Fitness, and today we're going to be hanging out with Froukh, a local business guy. So, just a little bit of background before I let him really give us his background. We're not going to be talking as much about fitness this week as business because this guy is like the mastermind here in Lexington, Kentucky. He's owned multiple businesses. He's done great for himself. He's quite humble, so he's over here shaking his head, being like, But probably one of the most well-known barbers in Lexington as well on top of that. And but yeah, Froukh, just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your business history. Just, let's dive in. Let's talk.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Fouad. I grew up here in Lexington. We moved here in 2007, and I found my passion, which is barbering. I've been doing it since 2011.
Yeah.
Until now.
I've been going to you. I went to you probably that first year. You made it out of the barber school.
Yes.
I drove him crazy because he would get, when I first started going to him, he wasn't like super popular yet. So like I could walk in and I could get like an appointment like that. I'd come in, I would get my tag or whatever. I'd be in his chair.
You'd be a walk-in.
Yeah, a walk-in, right?
I was a rookie. That was my rookie year. Yeah.
But about halfway through his rookie year.
About 6 months in. Yeah, 6 months in.
Yeah, about 6 months in.
David, you got to call me, man.
Yeah. So then I would just like show up and he'd be like, it's a 30 to 40 hour long wait. And I'm like, man, I love your work, but I got shit to do right now.
Yeah.
It probably drove him crazy.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he's told me many times that it drove him crazy because I'd just show up and be
I'm
like, all right.
Man, I'm sorry, man. You keep wasting your time.
And you just kept growing.
Yeah.
I mean, that was back when you were working at Buckhorn, right?
Buckhorn, yeah.
Are they still over there?
It's a different owner, different barbershop.
Okay. I liked the guy that owned it.
Yeah.
He was really
Great
cool.
guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah.
So yeah, that's I guess kind of one of the ways I met you. And then I used to work in the mall at a kiosk way back when, and you had a lot of mutual friends.
Yes.
And so we met and we kind of became friends over that. And then when I realized, like literally, I literally remember the first time I walked out of there because it was the first time I ever had like an actual like shape up on the beard.
Yes.
And I was
razor.
like, what
you had the straight razor.
I was like, what the fuck is this? What? I've never had this. And I
Yeah.
look sharp as hell. I even remember when you did that. What's that little cut thing you did when I still grew my hair?
Yeah.
I had that little part. I had
Yeah.
so many compliments
Yeah.
from that. So yeah, you started out as a barber and kind of give us.
Still am.
Yeah. Well, right.
Still am. But then after I grew in my business and got the publicity in Lexington, I started diversing.
Yeah.
So I went into other businesses as well. My brother is a baker, so
Very talented.
I invested and we opened up Habibi Sweets, which is I was the guy with the money, he was with the talent. So we put that piece together and then we opened up Habibi
And a lot of your stuff is vegan, right?
Yes.
Which is great for people that
Yes.
want sweets, that want something that's vegan.
Yes.
And some of your sweets, I would say, is not nearly as high in sugar content and other things that you would find in normal American.
Yeah, majority of it is phyllo dough, vegan, made in house. The syrup that we use is also made in house. The main ingredient is nuts.
Yeah.
So
High in protein.
Yes.
And fats.
So, but
You started the Habibi Sweets. You and your brother started that about 3 years?
3 years ago,
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah. And you guys
started out first out of the house, and then
I didn't know you guys started at the house. Okay, so you
Started
actually
at
had
the
a location
house.
in the house.
And then just to see how it goes and stuff like that. And then it took off. So we decided to get a storefront. And that's when we opened up on Nicholasville Road for 3 years. Then during that 3 years, we figured out what's our client base and where they come from, what kind and what type and what they like, what they don't like. So after our lease was up, we went down to Jolieta Market. And then
I haven't been down there yet.
Yeah, we got a booth down there, and then we opened up down there. So,
And you guys been down there for
really
what, 6 months, a year now?
about 6 months.
Yeah. How's it going? How is it? How are
It's been
things down
great,
there?
Phenomenal.
So you started a sweet company.
And then I had the opportunity to gas station came
Yeah.
up, so I had an opportunity to invest in that. So I invested in that. I had a good, solid background knowledge about that business. So I went into that for a little bit, for about like 2 years, and then I had the opportunity to sell it. So I sold it and I walked away.
Yeah. Well, more money to set aside for the next business. So I guess my question is, I mean, pretty much everything you put your hands on that I'm aware of has been successful for the most part. I'm sure you've had some failures along the way.
For sure. For sure.
Can you talk about some of the failures and what you learned from those?
The failures, like, I don't know. I can't.
Got to dig deep.
Yeah, I have to dig deep.
This guy doesn't fail often.
No, I do.
But I mean, what are some hardships, some things?
In barbering.
Okay.
In barbering, it took me a while to get to where I want to be, because I was surrounded by people, not the wrong people, but not the same mindset people.
Okay.
That slowed
Didn't
me
have that
down.
like go get it,
that slowed
make it
me
happen.
down from where I wanted to get to.
Right.
I was after the publicity, the growth, diversity in investing, and just so I don't have to rely on standing behind a chair forever for the rest of my life.
Right. You want to set yourself up so if you want to walk away from Barber, you can financially do that.
Well, I don't think I'm a big believer now. That was the goal first.
Okay.
But I'm a big believer now. I can never walk away from it.
I mean, no joke, man.
Ever.
Like, we're going to talk about his barbershop for like 2 seconds, and we're going to come back to it some more. But, like, your barbershop has some of the best fucking barbers in Lexington.
Well,
like
ask me why.
Why?
Okay.
Here we go.
The reason why is because a barbershop, I treat it as my house.
Okay.
I don't bring anybody into my house. First, when I opened up the barbershop, I was 22.
22 guys.
22. I went and signed the lease, and
You were 22?
I was 22.
Oh, my gosh.
I was 22. My dad thought I was the craziest person on this planet. He was like, what are you thinking?
The second I heard you open it up, I'm like, oh, smash hit. I already knew.
Yeah. So I was 22. I worked down there for about 8 months by myself.
Was it just you?
It's just only me.
When did you get Issa? Was Issa your first?
2 years. 2 years later.
You got Issa.
Yeah. I knew Issa through the community, but me and him were never friends. I just see him like, hey, what's up? That's it. Keep it moving. But I knew he was Barber, and I overheard somebody talking that he wasn't having a good situation, so I knew he was a good barber. I reached out to him, and I told him, hey, man, like, this is the mission that I'm on, professionalism, all about growth, all about the next step.
He had the same hunger you did.
He did.
He wanted to succeed, and he had that same. He had that the mindset. The mindset that we're talking about.
But he didn't have the LeBron James, D Wade. He needed that.
He didn't have the suave.
He didn't have that. So
that extra little something.
I was missing the piece. He was missing the piece. We
right.
combined together. And they call us.
Look at him now.
The dynamic duo. That's what they call us. The dynamic duo. So yeah, I contacted him. I brought him over, and we started growing, and we start feeding each other. I start feeding him my knowledge from my experience. He started feeding me his knowledge from his experience, because he used to work at an old school barbershop.
Where was he at originally?
He was out at his uncle's barbershop on Leestown Road.
Okay, I've been out there one time.
I don't know what's the name of the barbershop, but I know it's old school, high tight, flat top.
It's the one over by Kroger, right?
No, farther down by the Speedway.
By the Speedway. Okay, I don't know that barber. Okay, yeah, I know what one you're talking about. I've never been in there.
Been in there for years.
Yeah.
Well-known barbershop, but it's old school. So me and him got together, and I brought him on, and I was like, listen, my goal is for you to make as much money as I'm making, if not more. I'd be happy for your success, because your success is a reflection on me, and your failure is a reflection on me.
Right.
And the same thing goes from me to you.
Right.
And when he came on, we teamed up, and we got together, and then we grew the barbershop. He knew a lot of people. I knew a lot of people. And I was cutting, and I still do. I cut a lot of athletes. First, I was cutting the basketball players here in town.
Which is big. UK. I mean, he's cutting University of Kentucky basketball players. How many NBA players now have you cut?
A lot.
So many.
A lot. Yeah. I cut.
Are you still doing stuff for Devin Booker?
Devin Booker, we stay in contact, not as much. I'm more close to Carl Anthony Towns.
Okay.
That's like my bro.
Yeah.
Family. Me and him, we talk on a daily basis.
He's a good dude.
So, great guy. So, I traveled a lot first when Isa came.
Okay.
So I used to do haircuts like I worked for Foot Locker, Foot Action, Finish Line.
Well, you were doing those competitions
Gatorade,
too.
Yeah, competitions, barber competitions, but also I was
That's
doing
right. This guy is that good. He's actually competing against other barbers. And I mean, did you win any?
We did.
You won a handful of them. Yeah.
Times,
Yeah. I mean, he's so
but
talented.
But I started getting in with the agency with the NBA agent put me on to cut their clients, so other NBA players. So I worked for 2K, NBA 2K. I worked for Gatorade, Foot Locker, a lot of big companies, Nike. So yeah,
just kind of put yourself
back
out
and
there.
forth. Yeah, put myself out there. So that's what got me more
Right.
popular in my area.
Right.
That's why my Instagram name is 859 Official Barber.
Official barber. He
Official
really is
barber.
the official barber of 859.
Yeah.
So, did you have any? I can't remember. Did you have any barbers that just kind of fizzled out and didn't work for you?
One guy.
Who was that?
His name is RJ.
Okay.
I hired him.
Oh, I forgot about RJ.
Yes.
Yeah, what happened to him? He was Marine or Army, right?
No, he was just local guy that
Okay.
needed the opportunity. So, at first I was open to give the
Right.
opportunity to anybody. So I gave him the opportunity. He was in a team player. He was kind of like he wanted to do his own thing on his own time, but he had the expectations
Right.
of us, like keep feeding him. And at the bar,
So he wasn't trying to grow on his own.
No, he was trying to grow on his own, but he wasn't willing to share the growth. He was just trying to take.
It does feel like a family when I come in there.
Exactly.
Literally, I walk in so it's a 2-story barbershop, guys. And maybe what I'll do is I'll try to grab some pictures and add it into the podcast for you guys. So you guys can get a feeling of this barbershop. But when I remember, not remember, anytime I walk in, literally I walk in, the whole bottom floor, hey David. Like everyone knows me, right? Like you get welcomed, especially the people that come back.
Well, yeah, of course.
I feel like I'm part of your guys' family when I walk in.
Of course, that's one of the secrets that we have in the barbershop, that we developed the relationship on a personal level with every single client, whether it's your first time or whether you've been with us for years.
Right.
And that's what keeps our clients with us for years. If you're new in the barbershop and let's say like I bring in a new guy and he's cutting hair and he don't know anyone. He don't know David. He never met David. He don't know David. He's forced to talk to David.
Yeah.
That's part of the culture. That's part of the rule. And that's part of the interview before we put him on to the team.
Is that he can communicate well with people.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you
huge.
gotta greet and see every single client, and you gotta, wish him, safe.
Yeah, no, and it does. It does. Every
so,
time I come in, and the thing is, I've been going to you guys for.
Oh man, David,
I don't even know how long.
you're a dinosaur in the barbershop.
I've been going in forever, so I know all the barbers.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them I know them well outside of the shop now,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Issa. I talked to Danny, Max.
You built that relationship with them through the barbershop.
Yeah, coming
and that's
in.
what we do.
Yeah.
Because you never know who walks into the barbershop. So it's very important to speak to everybody, welcome everybody, because David, you come into the barbershop, you bring one of your buddies with you. You coming to me to get a haircut, or you're going to Issa,
Right.
but your buddy all of a sudden he needs a haircut. So if I'm building a relationship with you and you're going to the other barber, you might say, hey, he's good, he's available,
Yeah.
go to him.
Yeah, exactly.
So I benefited of that relationship that I grew with you over the time, just you coming into the barbershop, even though you're not sitting on my chair. So that's very important in
Right,
any barbershop.
I would trust
in any business. Exactly.
I would trust my friend with any barber in there. Like they could
Exactly.
go to any one of your barbers, and I feel like they're going to get the same exact service.
Exactly.
Granted, the people that are serious about their haircuts, they want Fouad, they want Issa, maybe Max, but like they want the dinosaurs, Danny, right? So to me, there's like four of you that are kind of the dinosaurs. Like Max is the youngest dinosaur, right?
Max is the youngest.
Yeah, but then you've got Danny, Issa, and yourself that are just like are legendary. And then your brother, he started working there.
Yeah.
He's building a name for himself now.
Well, he been cutting hair since he was 15.
But he's only recently been cutting hair with you.
Because he just recently got his license.
Yeah.
Before he was cutting in my mom's garage.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
So.
But yeah, you guys have a great culture over there. And you got let's talk about Max. Let's talk about what you did for that kid.
Man, I love that kid.
I think it's amazing. And really only recently did I talk to Max and realize like you didn't even know him. He just followed you guys on Instagram.
So it was weird. It was weird in a good way.
No, yes.
My Instagram is jumping. I mean, I'm traveling every day. There's some days. There's 1 week that I traveled 3 times to LA back and forth.
Wait, in 1 week?
In 1 week, 3 times.
Holy shit, man.
For 3 different people, 3 different jobs. I mean, it was crazy.
How many barbers do you guys know that are traveling to do single haircuts across the country?
Crazy. So my content is always like popping. People share my stuff. People coming to the barbershop because they know like I cut the athletes. I cut a lot of interesting people, and people coming to the barbershop, and here you go like Devin Booker walking in, or Carl Towns walking in, or Tyler Eulis walking in, or Trey Lyles walking in, or Jamal Murray walking in, and they run into them. And people will start posting up by the barbershop, just waiting to see like who's coming in.
Who's coming? Right.
So it was crazy. So at that time, Max started tagging me into his haircuts, and I was so busy that I wasn't paying attention. I mean, my Instagram is like going crazy. So Issa hit me up one night, and he's like, "Yo, there's this kid that keeps tagging me, and also tagging you. Did you see who did? Do you know that kid?" And I was like, "No, what kid? What are you talking about?" And I had a little look at. I looked at his pictures before, but I never really like paid real close attention. So I never really thought about it.
Right.
So when Issa brought it up, I was like, yeah, whatever. So when Issa brought it up, I was like, yeah, I remember looking at his Instagram. What's up with this kid? And he was like, I'm calling you. What's going on with him? I was like, I don't know the kid.
But he's tagging you in everything like he knows you.
He's tagging me in everything like he knows me, but he was trying to really get my attention.
Get on the radar.
So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and DM him. So I was trying to DM him, and he done DM'd me like, hey, I appreciate you. I look forward, I appreciate your work. I look up to your work. I'm trying to follow your footstep. If you get any tips for barbering for me to get any better, please let me know.
So you're right there. You're probably like, so okay, he has a mindset,
I was
right?
like, shit, I feel bad for not even seeing his DM. So I responded. I said, hey, man, I'm sorry. I overlooked your DM. I'm sorry I missed it. But how old are you? Where are you at? What do you need help with? I'm here. So I looked through his pictures, and he was really good. He had the potential. At that time, self-taught, he was great. But he had a lot of room to improve.
Right.
That will be easy to enhance because he already knows the basics. So when I saw that, I was like, man, you're not far from it. You're good. So I was like, let me know whatever I can help you with. If you need clippers, if you need, tips, whatever. So we stayed in communication. At that time, he was a sophomore in high school. So I'm like, fuck.
Oh, shit, I didn't realize you met him that young.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, this kid, man. Like,
he's literally a kid.
He's literally a kid.
Oh, my God.
So I'm like, man, what's going on, So I'm like, I call Issa. I'm like, yo, this is a fucking kid, bro. He's like a sophomore in high school. He's cutting in his mom's garage. So I get to talk to him more. And we developed a relationship just over Instagram.
Okay.
And I was like, so what do you want to do? What's your goal? And he was like, man, I want to be like you. I want to go to the same barber school that you went to. And I was like, man, whenever you're ready, you are more than welcome to either come over to the barbershop and see us and us get to know you and you get to know us. Or whenever you're ready, the barber school that I went to is in Lexington. It's called Lexington Academy of Barbering, which is now I am a licensed instructor that have been teaching them.
We're going to talk about that here in a minute.
That's very interesting. That's a very interesting topic.
We're gonna go into that topic here in a minute.
So, his junior year or late sophomore year, he had his mom drive him from Paducah He lived in Paducah.
Which is about, what, 3
3
hours?
hours.
3 hour drive
He
from where
lived
you're at.
3
Yeah.
hours.
So it's about a 3 hour drive.
He drove 3 hours on a Saturday. He had his mom. He forced his mom to drive 3 hours on a Saturday, come over to the barbershop, hang out with us in a barbershop for about like 2 hours, 3 hours,
Okay.
and turn around and drive back. Okay, his mom about killed him, but she's like, he's so passionate about
Right.
it. This is what I really want him to do because he loves it so
Right.
much. And I can see him being successful, so I support him. That's why I brought him. So at that moment, it really hit me different because when I decided to go to barber school, my parents didn't support me. So they didn't like that decision. But I had to prove him wrong and show that I'm dedicated, I'm passionate, and I'm going to be successful.
Right.
So anyway, that like made me want to give him more. I wanted to guide him more. Whether I didn't think about him coming in to teaming up with us and be part of the family or any of that. Just from a barber to a fellow barber, that I wanted to make sure that he's guided and he's on the right track to be successful.
Right.
So I was like, man, whenever you're ready to graduate high school, you need your high school diploma to enroll in barber school. So whenever you're ready, you let me know. I'll take you. And if you don't want to come up to Lexington, that's a little far, we can find you a barber school in your area to where you go in your area. And he was like, no. I want to go to the same barber school you went to. I said, okay. So whenever he graduated high school, literally, he grabbed his diploma the same day, drove to Lexington. The next day, we went to barber school. I enrolled him in barber school. I paid $100 enrollment fee from me as a gift to him,
Right.
with no expectations of him coming to
Work for you.
not work for me. He works with me.
With you. That's
Yes.
See, that's a good way of putting
Yes.
it. Works with you.
So yeah, he went to barber school. I said, listen, I'm vouching for you to be in barber school. Don't make me look bad. I know these people know me. I have the expectations of you to follow what they tell you, the rules, regulations, and everything. So he went and he never looked back. And
Yeah.
after
well,
he graduated, he came.
I mean, you gave him a job too, right? So
Yeah,
before,
gave
while
him
he
an
was in
opportunity.
barber school, he worked at Habibi
Habib's.
Sweets.
Yeah, well, he worked at Pazos, and then he struggled a little bit, and I was worried because, like, I kind of felt the responsibility because his mom really felt comfortable with him coming to the shop. So it made me feel like I'm responsible for him.
Right.
And I didn't want him to be hanging out around the wrong crowd, the wrong people.
Right.
So I was like, how is it going? So I stayed talking communication with him. And he's like, man, I'm really not doing well. You know, there's too much activity going on where I'm working at. So I was like, with the employees, and I was like, okay, you need to be around closer circle where I keep a close eye on you, make sure you're on the right track. I mean, he's 19 or 18 living by himself.
Exactly.
So I was worried about him going like,
Right. Well,
You
at
know?
that age, you can easily go one way or another.
go exactly.
Because
So I was
you
worried
aren't
about
old
that.
enough to realize the value and like
Exactly.
what's sitting in front of you.
Exactly. So that's when I brought him. I was like, how's it going? So when he started venting to me, I was like, no. You need to come to my family, to where my brother is running that
Right.
place. And I brought him, and we put him with the family, and he worked with the family, and he came.
I mean, he's like part of your
closer.
family now,
Yeah,
right?
for
I mean,
sure,
like
for
you
sure.
guys look at him like,
For
like
sure.
part of the family.
For sure. For sure. Like my mom and dad still love him. They call him. They come into the shop, check on him, make sure he's doing good.
He's like their little kid.
Yeah, for sure. They love him.
But he's amazing. He's a great
He's
barber.
a great young man. Great barber. Great
very
brother,
professional.
Very professional.
You know, so I mean, you couldn't have asked for better.
Yeah, no,
I mean, he
he's-
fits everything that you look for.
We had to break a couple things in him to really bring him out of the shell. I mean, he's young. He's in there with the older guys.
Well, he was a little quiet at first, if I remember
Very.
correctly. But he's like every time I come in, like
he's
I'm
very
always.
isolated.
I-
You know, so I put him on the first chair first when you go in. I was like, and I picked up the barbershop phone and I put it on his station. I said, every time this phone rings, you gotta answer.
You just
and-
didn't want to pick up the phone.
No, that too, but I needed to put him in communication
No.
more with people to break the
100%.
ice. You know, that was my purpose. So because now the phone is on my station, back
Yeah.
on my station. So yeah,
But yeah,
that's what
it's a
happened.
great story.
Yeah,
how you?
that's what
I mean, I didn't realize he was a sophomore in high
Yeah,
school when he
was-
first started reaching
that
out
blew
to
my
you.
mind. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thinking about the barbershop and other businesses, is there anything looking back that you wish you had done better, or that now you're like, man, I should have never done that, or
I should have focused more on talent and should have focused more on building relationships faster.
Okay.
Not saying that I don't have strong relationships right now.
Right.
I met a lot of people, but I feel like if I'd done it even more, I
Right.
could have been
Knowing the
farther.
right people
Yes,
to make
knowing
those
the right people
relationships,
to make
right.
those relationships.
Yeah,
So
for
I've been
sure.
blessed, with the relationships that I have right now with people, and the people that I met crossed my path, and it's been great.
I mean, yeah, you're sitting here on the podcast.
Yeah, it feels good. Feels good.
Just knowing me from what I mean, literally, guys, I worked the kiosk. If anybody's ever out there listening to this has ever worked at a kiosk in a mall, it sucks. And I did that for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And you were in and out of there all the time.
Yeah.
Did you have any businesses in the mall at one point in time? Did you have any any ties?
No, but I knew I was gonna buy the kiosk from EdUp across from Paxson.
The Yodago.
Yes.
Man, I'm so happy you didn't buy that.
He don't want to sell me that, and I got mad that he don't want to sell me that. I needed that spot.
What were you going to put there?
I wanted that spot really bad.
Were you going to...
I had the right person. You see, me, I'm all about putting the right people at the right position.
EdUp was not.
So it's more about, I can't do everything on my own. So
Right.
if I know David is talented at photography, but he don't have the setup, he don't have the tools, he don't have all that, you know what I mean? So I will go ahead and say, hey, David, you know what? I got this place for you. We can make this into a studio. We'll go ahead and buy all the equipment, and we go half on half. We open up a company. I'll go half.
So you invest in people, not businesses.
I invest in people
Not
because I know
businesses,
David.
okay.
I build a relationship good with David.
Right.
I know David's a good worker. I know David is passionate about what he wants to do. And if I see that David don't have the opportunity, I'll go ahead and provide the opportunity. And that's how I work. That's
smart.
what I do. And a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here will add up, and we'll make a
So for people out there maybe interested in starting a business or in business already, one of your philosophies is investing in the right people.
Investing in the right people, 100%, but also you don't have to get 100% share from everything. So you can, let's say you open up 4 businesses.
Okay.
And you get 25% from each share.
Right.
That's total 100%.
Right.
So you get 100% at the end of the day. Or you open up 5 businesses, you get 20% from here, 20% from here,
Right.
20%, 20%, 20%. You at the end of the day, you're getting 100%.
Right.
But you're doing less work because, hey, small example, David, I'm gonna open this, you do the work, I put the money, and this is your thing, and I need. Let's say,
is that what you did with the gas station? Because I only saw you probably at the gas station like twice when you were working there.
Yeah.
Actually, the gas station that he invested in was like at the time like 2 blocks away from where I lived.
Yeah.
So like that was the number one. That was the gas station I went to go get my beer. I went to go get all my sugary items at the time before I was hardcore fitness. Gas. I mean, literally, that was my gas station.
Yeah.
Like when I needed something
it's
at
a
8 o'clock,
neighborhood
10
gas
o'clock at
station,
night.
neighborhood
Yeah,
store.
it was in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that's where I'd go. And I remember walking in one day, and you're sitting there behind the register. I'm like, what's going on here? Because it was an older white lady that I always saw that ran it. And you're like, oh, I bought this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
That experience really taught me a lot.
Did it? What? So talk about
Sucks. It sucked.
that. Did you? So where's the money made in a gas station?
The money made in the grocery and in the
Alcohol?
no,
Really?
yeah, not much.
What about the
Alcohol.
drinks?
The drinks, yes.
So the drinks are pretty good markup.
That's where you make. Yeah, that's where you make your.
And you don't make much off the
and
gas
candy.
itself, right?
Gas, no. Gas, you'll draw people. You bring in people, but majority of your money will be made from, grocery like candy, drinks, sodas, and stuff like that. That markup is between 25% to 35%.
Okay, so that's where the real money's at.
That's where the real money's at. But from lottery, beer, Gas, you don't make as much.
Okay.
You don't make
But I guess those combined make
pennies
some.
on the dollar.
Okay.
Pennies on the dollar.
So what are some things that you learned from that experience?
Learned from that experience that not all money is good money.
Okay. What does that mean?
What I mean by that is your health is more important than money. Because when I got that, so when we opened up Habib Sweets, I was doing a little bit of work.
Right.
Other on top of the barbershop, but not as much. But now when you open up a gas station or a store, you become almost like you don't own the store owns you.
Because you're working so much.
Because you're working so much. With that store, for small example, David, you dealing with not just only that store, any grocery store, any gas station that you see. You dealing with the gas company. You're dealing with lottery people. You're dealing with the lottery sales guy, okay? You're dealing with 3 or 4 different cigarette companies, salesmen.
Oh man, so
okay? You're dealing with 3 or 4 different guys for chips. You're dealing with 2 or 3 companies, sales guys for the beer. You're dealing with 3 or 4 different guys for tobacco, like cigars and stuff like that. You're dealing with different companies for newspaper, ice cream. There's too many things that you find at the gas station, and every single item
has a person attached to it that you got to talk to.
And these people that come in every week. So you're dealing all week, every week, and everybody's trying to hustle you. So you out there from the moment that you open to the moment that you close, okay? You're hustling. That's not including dealing with people.
Right, and
that's coming in.
Right. So if you've got to run the register that day and you've got to deal with all these different vendors.
It's a mess. It's a big mess.
So you found that it was more the amount of time and effort you put into it versus the return and the health that you got out of it was not a good
worth
trade.
it to me.
Okay.
To me. Now if that was the only thing that I did, I would say yes, that would be worth it. You know what I mean? That would be worth it. I'll only have to deal with these salesmen and that's it. Then I'm out. Okay? But that's not the only thing that I did. I was doing that, plus the barbershop, plus a little bit of Habibi's. That was way too much on me. 2019, I had no days off.
You worked?
No days off.
Was that?
My schedule, I'm going to tell you what was my schedule. 2019.
Let's hear it.
5:40 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, every day.
I would die. I mean, I work a lot, but I don't work those hours.
Non-stop. 5:40 in the morning. By the time I get to the store, it's 6 o'clock. I open up at 6. I stay at the store until 10 o'clock. My employee comes in. I leave 10 o'clock. I go to the barbershop. I stay at the barbershop until 6 o'clock. On my lunch break from the barbershop, I come to the store, make sure everything is good. They need me.
Talk to vendors or whatever.
They need a break. They need to eat. They need to go to the bathroom. Whatever they need, I will stay there on my lunch break. Talk to vendors if there's any issue, if there's any problem. I go back to the barbershop. I close the barbershop, stay until 6, finish all my appointments, leave from there, go back to the store. Stay at the store until 11 o'clock. Close the store, go home, and crash.
And then get up 6 hours later.
And do it again. Yes. That was my life.
You had like no life.
No life.
So you were probably pretty happy when you sold the gas station.
I celebrated. I'm still celebrating. Yes. It sucked. Not all money. That proved to me, because I was all about like, I need to open up another business.
Right, because you feel like you had more time.
Yes,
right?
I need to open up another business. That business picked me up and slammed me to the ground.
But it was good for you, right?
It humbled me. It really did. It was really good. It really showed me, it really taught me that I need to be grateful for the opportunity that I have. I need to value my time more. I need to appreciate my time even more. And I need to really worry about my body more. And really take care of my inner peace, my soul, my body, my physical, everything. I need to worry about that, because that values more than money. Because at first it was money. And it's not that anymore. It's bigger than that.
Right.
Because money is a tool. You get to a point where you feel like, and you see it, that money is a tool to get you to places, to do things. That's it. You know what I mean? But relationship and health last forever. So That's what I'm about now.
Okay.
That's what I'm about.
So can we talk about the new business you're starting?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Absolutely.
I think it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
So your plan is to eventually start your own barber school, right?
Hopefully. My mind right now is switching back and forth.
Okay.
Just to throw out the experience that I'm in right now. The reason why I went that route, it's because barbering is not appreciated as much, and a lot of people overlook us, especially like I hate the word when they say that the verse when they say, "Are you just a barber? Are you just a barber?" Like for somebody like me,
all I want to do is like go sit in my chair, let me cut you, and then tell me I'm just a barber.
Not even that. Not even that. It just that overlook you, that underestimate you. And barbers can make really good money if the barbershop is ran right, and the barber running his business right and taking care of his clients, you'd be impressed by how much a barber can make.
Oh, I believe it. However, before I met you, and Jerry Hash was a great barber, right? I'm sure you remember him.
Yeah.
But some of the barbers I met in the past, they're kind of rough-looking people. Like some of the stories they would tell me, I'm like, oh wow, you've really been through some shit, right? So I think there's that perception.
Well, the reason why, because I figured that out over time and over so many years in the profession, that people underestimate or people overlook barbers or barbershops because of the unprofessionalism in our industry that comes from barbers themselves. So they treat it as a hobby, and they really bring in their lifestyle, they mix their lifestyle with the business, and they don't treat it as a business.
That makes sense.
That's why it gives the client or the public the look that, oh, he's treating it as a hobby, so they can't be making as much money.
I mean, I went to Prince a couple times, and I had that barber, this kind of before you, that I liked all right. But the dude, like, half the time I would set a schedule, I would show up, and he'd be like, oh, I didn't make it in today. I'm sorry, man. And I'd be like...
The inconsistency.
Yeah, I'm like, that's...
There's a lot of great barbers there, but the inconsistency in barbers overall. You know what I'm saying? Not specific barber.
$30 for 30 minutes of your time, and you can't
make it. You can't let me know ahead of time that you can make it. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
So that's what drove me to go this route that I'm in, and that's not the barber's fault. It is the barber's fault in a way, but also it's not. I put the blame more on the barber school where they went to.
Okay.
So that what drove me to go and get my instructor license and really go towards that route.
Okay.
And at first I wanted to open up my own barber school and start like from the gate, like, hey, I'm
just
a schooler.
go right at it.
Go dive in. But then I was like, no, I need to experience first. I need to gain the experience. So I went to a local barber school here, the barber school that I went to. And I'm glad that I went to, like, there's some days that I leave from there really upset and really disappointed. But also, at the end of the day, like, after I think about it and write my notes down, I'm grateful for the opportunity. Because it opened my eyes more towards other things that I wasn't
Well, teaching's a good thing, right?
Teaching's
it humbles you. It allows you to look. You know, when I teach photography, it allows me to step back and be like, oh, and look at things with a different perspective. Yes. And then it allows me to use that perspective when I'm actually shooting or doing stuff on a professional set.
Exactly.
From what I've learned from teaching.
Exactly. Teaching is a great thing. Barber school been a great. The end goal is hopefully to open up barber school one day if we ever get to that point. But
you will. You and Issa are gonna tear through this.
I hope so, but it's bigger than that. Really, we really want to position people and put people in the right position to be successful from day one they graduate. They are set. That we want to teach them how to invest in real estate. We want to teach them how to fix their credit. We want to teach them how to build generational wealth. We want to teach them about all these things and not just only cutting hair. You know what I mean?
Teaching them how to be successful on top of cutting hair. Teaching them how to take that skill set and actually
apply it for other things.
Let's put it this way. How many barbers do you know that really do well financially outside of your shop? that truly do well financially, and they pay
In
their bills.
Lexington?
They're able to put money back every
In
month.
Lexington?
Yeah.
I know probably 2.
Okay. How many of your barbers are doing well? They're smart with their money. They put it back. They're building their
Every single one of them.
exactly.
And and that's no lie, because I sit with every single one of them. Hey, how are you? How is everything? Are you doing good financially? What's your next move? What's your 2-year goal? What's your 6
Right.
months goal? What's your 5-year goal? Where you see yourself? What do you want to accomplish that you can't accomplish, or you're having a hard time accomplishing? What can I help you with? What do you want to do?
Exactly.
So
So you go beyond that with your
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
people that you work with.
So
I mean, look at Issa. He's got 3 kids, a wife, and a house, a nice car. I mean, I remember when he didn't have all that. Look at him where he's at now. And now he's like looking for the next big thing. He's got the same mindset as you. He's like, all right, so what's the next thing? He's like, I want to cut hair, but I'm ready to like start doing.
well, everybody, we're looking for the freedom, David.
Yeah.
We're chasing the freedom. We're
Of
not
course.
chasing money. Money is not a thing. Once you have the skill in your hands, you can do it from anywhere.
Yes,
And
100%.
from anywhere, from literally anywhere. And so that's what we after. We after the freedom, you know. That's why we want to do the barber school, to where we don't have to be behind a chair as much, and really focus on generating good, great, successful barber who's set for success, and to where we can position them to be in barbershops, to where they'll be successful, and maybe we can benefit off of that as well.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
think
like
that's smart.
recruiting. It's kind of coaching and recruiting at the same time.
Right. It's more than just, all right, I'm gonna rent you a chair and you do your thing.
That's
like
it. No, it's bigger than
there's
that.
yeah, exactly.
Bigger
There's
than
a level of professionalism, a level of you've got to work as a team. Like I said, I walk in, I feel like every one of you is my barber.
Yeah.
Granted, I sit down in
Yeah.
one specific chair, but I feel welcome every time I'm in and out of there.
Yeah.
You know.
So barber school, it's been good. It's been challenging.
How long have you been teaching now?
I started November 1st.
Okay.
I started November 1st. It's been very challenging because everybody that comes into barber school, they have a different background, a different journey, and they all come into one place. They grow up different. Their history is different. Everybody's different in there. So that's where the challenge comes in. That's what I'm facing right now. It's how to bring everybody on the same page as in the business aspect.
Right.
And that's been really tough because I haven't dealt with anybody just that's below 0. That's not professional. I always dealt with people who already graduated barber school, who's looking for the job, that know exactly what they want to do, and then I'm just like polishing them.
Right.
Well, now I'm like trying to mold these
Before you can
people
even polish.
before I can even polish. So it's been very, 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 very challenging. Very challenging. And sometimes I leave from there, like I feel like a bum. Like I didn't accomplish shit. I'm not shit, and it just too much.
So for some of it's just growing pains and learning how a new way to communicate with, what's the average age of these?
Oh man,
are they kids? Are they adults?
So no. That's a problem. The adults.
Really?
I'm dealing with adults. So the oldest one right now is 38, 39.
Oh, wow, he's older than me.
Yeah, and then the youngest one is, I will say, 21, 22.
Oh wow. So okay. So they've been adults for a couple of years.
Bro, yes. And they act like fucking kids. They act like fucking kids.
Oh my God.
They went on a strike last week. None of them showed up.
For what? Why are they strike?
I found out that they have a student group chat that these motherfuckers texted each other and saying like, "Hey, we're not showing up today," and nobody showed
What
up.
was the strike over?
It just, man, the energy in the school is not where it needs to be, and I'm not talking bad about it,
Right.
but it's too much on one instructor. So we are in the transition right now where it's motivational, where it's like everybody's growing, we here teaching you all, so you all need to be here. And going to barber school is really hard because barber school costs $1,200 every month. And
How many
you have
months?
to 10 and a half months. That's if you don't
So
miss.
it's
You have to accumulate 1,500 hours.
so it's roughly 15 grand.
Yes. You have to accumulate 1,500 hours. So today, let's say today you came in only 4 hours. The other 4 hours, that go on the back end. So you miss today, that pushes your graduation day an extra day.
And if you do enough of those, that's
you-
another $1,200 for another month.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and there's no financial aid. There's no.
So this is coming out of
out
everyone's
of
pocket.
So
Man, you
that's
gotta
what
be dedicated
That's
then.
what I don't get. They don't show up. So that's what I'm disappointed.
That's so
at.
much money.
Like, what the fuck y'all doing?
I spend money. It's easy not to do something when you don't pay for it, but when it's
when
coming,
you're paying for it, it's
But
like, bro, what
if
are
it
you
comes out of
doing?
my pocket, you better believe I'm getting my money's worth.
What?
100%.
Bro, I'm there 9 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm waiting on you to open up the door. If it's 9:01, like, where you at?
So they don't have that mindset though.
They don't have the mindset. So I'm trying to break these bad habits
And figure
into
out how to
barbers
get them to have that
to
mindset.
get them that have the mindset. And that's not the instructor's fault. That's the student's fault. But it's our duty as instructors to
Is to
really
find a way
motivate
to-
motivate them and really break these bad habits to bring them into barber school so they can be, because once you break that bad habit and have them come in on time to barber school, they already set for success. Because in barbershops, if you want to be successful, you got to be first one in and last one out.
That's how it was when I was in the military.
Yeah.
So you had
First
to have
one
that
in,
mindset.
first one in, and last one out. If you do that, you're set for success.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great barbers. There's a lot of good barbers, skill-wise, but their communication, their professionalism is trash. Okay, and there's mediocre barbers who are okay. They manage to do a good haircut, but it's not a great haircut. Okay, but their communication skills, their professionalism, they're on time every time. Guess what? They are the greatest barbers out there.
Really?
Yes. Even though their skill level is not at the other barbers' level, but their work ethic is 10 times more. So that outshine the skill level.
Right. And they'll get the skill if they have that kind of mentality, right?
Exactly.
I mean, Issa wasn't what he is today.
Of course not. You
know what
get
I mean?
better every day,
Yeah.
every haircut. I need my haircut to be better than the last haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
So once you have the mindset, it's, that's what we after.
So the biggest thing that you're trying to teach these barbers is a different mindset, a different mentality on how to look at life. Not just barbering, but like how they tackle life, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's something I've learned. I run a couple different businesses. I've got my personal training, the YouTube channel. We've got
Trust me, you got photography.
I got photography. I got video.
I love it.
And I will admit my work ethic, my communication skills. I'm not the best videographer there ever was, but I like you said, I get better every day. But I know how to communicate with people, and if I run into issues, I know how to take care of those. And I care about my clients. I genuinely, I've done work for you guys. Like
For sure.
Like if there's ever an issue, we just talk about it and we fix it.
For sure.
Move on.
For sure.
What was your biggest challenge that you feel like you overcame with the barbershop?
Biggest challenge is not show my emotions and be more professional towards customers.
Okay.
So obviously you can make everybody happy.
But believe me, I know that.
So first, because I'm so passionate about it, so it took me a hard time first not to show my emotions and react, because you're dealing with all kinds of people. You never know who's gonna walk into the barbershop.
You give them a great cut, but they disagree.
Yeah, well, yeah, you get people who had previous barbers that they had the relationship with, they're more comfortable with. They might not give them the same quality of a haircut that we're giving them, but in their head that we're not matching the other barbers.
Right.
So, and sometimes we mess up. We're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not perfect. We're far from
Well, now
it.
we know.
We're far from it. But, it's all about communications. And some people, they don't have that. They come in or start talking down to you or disrespectful in a way or another. And sometimes my emotions kick in.
And so it's knowing when to control that emotion.
That was the biggest struggle. At 22 years old.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting you were 22 when you
Man,
started.
that was really hard. We had some rough times. But over the years, I developed how to diffuse situations, how to calm situations down, how to steer conversation that I see like this conversation and the conversation is getting heated, and hearing a little bit like, oh, it's about to be a shit show. So I know how to diffuse, steer the conversation, switch up the conversation. Those were my biggest struggles first when I started. But over the years, you get to know, experience, and shit hit the fan multiple times, and you learn from those mistakes, and you learn from it and you grow. So
do you run into challenges today? I guess we talked a little bit about your challenges at the barber school, but I mean just everyday to-day challenges at the barber shop. I mean, are you running into challenges that you're dealing with now?
Not as much, because we set the culture. Another challenge that I faced is setting the foundation for the culture, letting people know that you can bring the shit around here.
Right.
Whatever it is.
It is always a positive vibe over there.
Exactly, which is the negative vibe, don't bring it in here. You smoke, you do drugs, you do whatever you do it outside of here.
Right.
Don't come in. Come in here, positive energy, because that's all we're going to give you.
Right.
So that was the biggest struggle, to set the foundation for the culture in the barbershop. But once we set that up and we figured the ins and outs to it, you never figure out the ins and outs to it, but you figure out the foundation to it. Once we figured that, it's all been good.
Yeah. I mean, I have to admit, it's like you guys are the highest rated barbershop in Lexington, right?
I believe
on
so.
Yelp or something like that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Organically, yes.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
Organically. I mean, now we can pay for it and be but organically, I believe so.
Yeah.
But if not, I mean, we're top, I would say top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't even know who really competes with you. I mean, size-wise, Prince is probably close to this similar size.
Honestly, I never look at anybody as a competition.
There's enough people that need their haircut.
Enough people for everybody to eat, and everybody deliver different service. Everybody, it might be haircuts, you know what I'm saying, but right. we deliver positive energy. We deliver good vibes, family vibes. You know what I'm saying? You might not find that in any other barbershop.
That's true.
Because that's really hard to come by, and we know that.
And people bring in their kids, and they feel safe and comfortable. People, even the customers are, they may be using curse words or something, but I've noticed that like a kid walks in or like a female walks in, like all of a sudden it's like, but even the customers, they're like, all right, we know.
Yeah, they know.
They know. So I think that's pretty awesome.
That was a challenge. That was a huge challenge, because let's say, David, you're married, you're at work, and your son needs a haircut. So if we respect your son being with you in the barbershop, we're going to respect your wife coming in with your son. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to build a trust from the husband to allow his wife or his baby mama or whoever, his spouse, to bring in their son to come in at a haircut, and there is no like, oh man, you gotta wait until on my day off, or you have to wait until I go with him, or you know what I mean? Because there's none of that. There is safety in there. So we wanted to create that, and that was really, really, really hard to get in hold of or to develop, because music, conversation between clients, conversation between barbers and clients, that was really hard to control.
Right.
But now we got it under control to where everybody knows, like you said, a kid walks in, okay, even clients knows, like, okay, time to switch
well,
the topic.
And then you also can look at your heritage, right? Your skin color. You're a great representation of, the shit that we've dealt with in the last 10 years. Shit that you're Palestinian, if I'm not correct. The shit you have dealt with, your people have dealt with, but you represent, right? You represent well. You're a genuine person, and I think that helps with the local culture as well, which is huge, right?
For sure.
Because it shows people, because we're in Kentucky. We have some ignorant ass motherfucking rednecks in this fucking state that do not They just don't respect. If you're fucking not white, you're not good, right?
Well, not everybody.
No, I'm not saying everybody.
Yeah,
but
not everybody.
we get that.
We do get that. I used to get that. But you know what's the biggest, like, you know how you do something that you love and you get the high feeling off of it?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of a great shoot. I'm off on cloud nine.
Exactly.
Man. I don't need drugs. I don't need nothing.
Exactly. My high feeling that I still get to today is when I know this motherfucker right here don't fuck with people like me, but is forced to come to me because he knows that he can get a better haircut any fucking where else.
But then you represent.
So he still comes to me, even though he hates it, you know. But he still comes to me because he knows that he can't get a better haircut anywhere else.
I remember.
So.
There was the Jewish guy that worked at the mall with the kid. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And I man, I feel so bad. And I told him, I was like, you got to go see. You gotta see Fouad down at Cuts Online. Like, he's gonna take care of your kid, because he was bitching that like his barber like canceled on him or something. I overheard him. He worked at the kiosk at the time. I worked at the kiosk, and so I told him to come see you. And I was telling you, and I was like, yeah. And I think I said, and you're like, he's Jewish. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, what are you, Palestinian? And you're like, yeah, David, I'm Palestinian. I'm like, fuck. I'm so sorry.
I don't get much in politics. I have a lot of Jewish.
Right.
I have a lot of Jewish who's originally from Israel. That their family's still there.
Yeah.
And they are my clients, and we developed like a really good relationship.
Right, because
so
it doesn't
matter.
It's the person.
It doesn't matter. It's the person.
You base
they're
it
great
on
to
the
me.
person.
They're good to me. I'm good to them. We're
exactly.
good.
That's how it
And
should be.
We're not in politics. You know what I'm saying? They know that I'm not in politics. At first when they started coming to me, when they found out that I was Palestinian, that was like, oh shit, But I was like, we're good.
Yeah, like
I'm good.
Have I ever disrespected you? Do you have any problems with me?
No.
It's all these preconceited concepts of like what you've been told. Exactly. But now you're face to face.
But now they're like, bro, whenever you go, we need to link up.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I was like, that sounds actually good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so, but yeah.
But so in a way, I guess I'm just saying that like I think you're a good representation of your culture in our city.
Yeah.
Like you bring positivity. You show people how people should act, not just how someone from your heritage should act, but how someone should act in general, right?
Yeah, I don't see no colors.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all the same. We're all equal, and we all deserve the same opportunity.
Yeah.
So.
Now, if you want to squander it and you want to be racist or you want to hate on someone, that's on you.
Yeah,
I don't have to put up with that shit.
Yeah.
But if you want to be open-minded and you want to give me a chance and realize, oh shit, this is a genuinely good person here, then let's go for it.
Yeah.
So you have some real estate investments. That's something we haven't really talked too much about. Yet another business that this gentleman.
That's a long time. That's a long term investment.
That's smart, right?
Exactly. That's a long term investment that.
And why'd you get into that? Like
because I wanted to build generational wealth that my family didn't do.
Okay.
So I wanted to be the first one in my family that will do that, and create that for the next generation, which is my kids or my nephews or my nieces, etc. So that's why I started doing it. And I'm not making any money off of it right now because it's all mortgages.
So are you taking the rent and pretty much trying to just put it back into paying the mortgage off faster?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So that once you own the mortgage, then it's all 10, 15 years from now, it's just free-flowing cash.
Exactly. 20 years from now, I'll be 50.
How is being a landlord, though?
Being a landlord, actually, it's been fucking good.
Except for that one crazy lady that you were telling me about. Like you told me she was like getting money and she still wasn't paying her rent.
Yeah, like, well, only one. You know
right,
what I'm
so
saying? But overall,
you've had good experience.
It's been great. It's been really great. I had like good people, genuine people that really been take care of the place because I take care of them as well. If something breaks, they call me. I fix it right away. So it's been no issue.
Right. Do you take the time? Same thing with like the way you do with your barbers? Do you really be picky about the people that you? Rent?
For sure. Like there's one right now. I went to her like right before I came here, and I left her a note at the door like, "Hey, I'm giving you 30 days notice. Like you need to be out."
Wow.
Yeah, she trashed the yard. The neighborhood hates her. Everybody in the neighborhood called me like, "What the fuck is going on? You need to get her ass out of here." The house got shot at a couple times. It just been crazy shit, and I would have never thought like that person will be involved.
Right
in
after talking to her
I'm
and
like,
stuff.
What's going on? What happened? So I went to her, like right before I came here, me and my wife, we stopped by and she was like, "Don't go, you don't need to go, you know?" And I was like, "No, I'm going." And I'm dropping this letter off.
Right.
And I give her 30 days notice. So, but it's been great. It's been good being a landlord. Good learning experience. I became handy.
Oh,
Fix
yeah.
a shit.
Yeah, you got to. Well, it saves money, right?
Yeah,
if
it
you can do
saves money.
basic stuff.
So, but I get to learn. I love doing stuff with my hands. So I got to learn and experience things and go through shit, and it just been good. It just been really good. I learned a lot more. It's just great. You know what I mean? I'm looking to grow into that. I have developed like a great relationship with EXP Realty. You need to look them up. They're a good crew.
Is that who you go through a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're my guys.
That's good.
They're my guys.
Shout out to EXP Realty.
Yeah. Good people. Bob, DJ, great guys in there. They always want the best for me. So if there's a deal, hey, there's a deal. Are you interested?
Okay.
If I find a deal, or if I know somebody that wants to sell or buy, I send it to them because I know they're honest, they're truthful, they want the best interest for their client. So they get the best deal for their client if there's any deals in Lexington. Because lately there have been no deals.
If Fouad, he's like, what are those pigs? Hey, Keenan, what are those pigs called? Is there a specific name for pigs that like look for the truffles? Because that's what Fouad is. He's like that. Not calling you a pig, but I'm calling you. You have that talent. Like you can literally sniff out a deal.
Yes.
Or somehow make a deal. Like,
yes. Well, a deal comes from communication.
Right.
And pulling. So you gotta talk to the people to break
it's
the
knowledge
ice.
too. Like
it's knowledge.
You gotta come to the table, understand
what's
you gotta know how to talk.
Yeah. So, but it's more about knowing the right people that can put you in the right position. So, where I've been blessed enough to have a good clientele, and I know the right people, and the right people will lead me to the right person that I'm looking for.
Right.
So, ask me about anything, and I promise you, I get a guy. And if I don't have a guy, I can find someone that knows the guy.
And just let you guys know, I'm one of the guys.
You are one of the guys.
Depending on what it is.
For sure.
But no, it's good, right? It's good to build those relationships.
It's really great.
It helps. So this is a huge business information for people watching this. Having the right people. So I've got a guy that does electrical work for me. And I swear by him. And I put his name out there when people ask for electrical work. I trust him. But literally, when you run a business, having the right people.
You got to know your people. You got to communicate.
Important. It's so important.
You got to communicate. Treat everybody on the same level. Same level of respect.
Right.
Same level of professionalism.
And my guy doesn't even have to be the best. He just has to get the job done, and he has to be reliable.
Yes.
And I have to trust him.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
my electrician, I'm not here. I give him the code to the house if he needs to go in the house. Because I know none of my shit's going to be missing. I know the work's going to be done right.
Exactly.
I know he's not going to overcharge me. That's why I don't even, I'm like, give me a rough guesstimate, but I know you're not going to charge me a penny more than what you have to.
Exactly.
And that seriously, running a business, that really is important.
It's very important. And that's what really drove me into real estate, honestly. I know the plumber, I know the electrician, I know the tile guy, I know the drywall guy.
When you're a barber, builder, you know every guy.
You know every
You literally,
guy. You know every
Issa's always telling me, I'm like, literally, if I need a guy, I thought I needed an HVAC guy. I found one. But I was like, Issa, I need an HVAC guy. You know what this motherfucker did?
Picked up the phone, give you a number.
No, he didn't go that far. No, he literally he walked over to his station and gave me a card. He's like, "This is your guy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, he had an HVAC.
Ready.
He literally had a card ready to go for me. And I know he keeps some of my cards at his. So someone asks for a photographer or video.
The time. We do that all the time.
And people trust. They trust you guys.
Yes.
If Issa tells someone,
people come to us for advice. We are people therapists.
In a way, you're right.
In a way, yeah. In a huge way.
In a way, yes. So you communicate with the rest of the shop, but there's also a point when you're getting a haircut where there's some one-on-one talk, right?
Well, yeah, I know a lot of personal stuff about a lot of people.
And so, and again, Issa being, Fouad has cut my hair for years, but he got really busy with the businesses. Issa and I built a bond. Fouad was okay if I switched barbers here.
Of course. It's all family.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still in the house.
I'm still in the house.
You're still in the house.
But I mean, like, Issa and I, half the time, we're just talking about his family, how his kids are doing. He's really into this martial arts with his kids. I mean, like, we have real conversations about our lives during my 30 or 45-minute haircut.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel like it's a guy that's doing my hair. It feels like it's my brother. It's my family member. Like Issa, you guys are like family.
Honestly, David, over the years, and now sometimes like I look back and I think, sometimes like I drive home after work and no music.
Really?
No music.
No music.
Nothing.
So it's just you're just
silent.
Okay.
And I just rewind everything that happened or an interesting conversation that I had during the day. And man, like sometimes I really, really, really want like just a camera set on my station just to record that everything happens. Like real life footage. And I think I can make a reality show.
You probably could. And,
seriously.
And it might actually have some substance.
From the conversation, from the knowledge that people drop, from the experience they have, from the advice they ask me for, from the...
And it would be positive. It would be a positive reality show. It wouldn't... I feel like a lot of reality shows have a very negative connotation because that's what sells. But I really, really could see...
There's some fucking interesting...
Are we coming up with an idea right now?
Probably.
Is this the beginning of a potential idea here?
Probably. But yeah, man, it just gets like wild.
Yeah.
It gets wild. Like there's people that come to me that get so comfortable with me. They tell me about deep personal stuff that I'm like...
Right.
I'm like, what's going on?
It's because...
But it's because we
they're
develop...
family.
They are family. We develop that relationship, that trust, that I don't talk. I don't go around spread their business. I don't put their name out. I don't,
and I guess what we're saying...
And the trust.
He's not just throwing the word family out like it's something... Like, these people that have been coming to him since the beginning, that he's built these relationships, they call him in the middle of the night, like, Fouad's got him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, if I sent him a text, I needed help, like, I 100% know he would do his best to help me out.
For sure. Absolutely.
And so I just want people to know out there that this is not a term that we're throwing around. When the people that you consider your barber family, the people that come in.
My guys at the shop, when they come in, I say like, hey, we're a family, this and that. And, they actually take it as like, he just blows smoke.
It's not.
At first. So we had a guy from Harlan, Kentucky. His name is Nate. And
is that the new
he's not the newest.
Not
he's kind of in the middle.
Yeah. He's in between Max and
Marco,
yeah. Marco's the newest
Chapo,
guy, right?
The creator, my guy. My God, that's the creator. Very talented guy.
Yeah.
Very talented guy. But anyway, Nate comes from a small town. Don't know anybody in Lexington. And very, 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 very small community. So when he came in to the barbershop and we're like, hey, we're family, we joke, we talk about serious stuff, we ask for advice from one another, we lift each other up, we help each other, whatever. And at first he was like kind of isolated. And he wasn't like giving in. So it took him a while, but he broke in. And he knew, like, after he broke in, he started understanding and realizing why I was hard on him about this.
Well, and this is the kid that, if I remember correctly, he really, like, he was going through the barber school, and he really made an effort to, like, show up and just hang out. And, like,
yes!
Like, again, he had that mindset, going back to mindset.
Yes.
He didn't make money. He was just there hanging out with you guys to show you he gave a shit, and he's watching, he's learning.
He just watching,
and he showed that, like, okay, this guy has drive.
Yes, so that's why we brought him in. But it took him a while to break in, And after he broke in, he was like, yeah, man, I really appreciate what you done for me and what you've been doing. You're really about what you say. You're really about like family, you know. You
back
really,
up your words.
You back up. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad you realizing that now, you know. And you know, like, we talking and we had the same problem with Chapo, the creator, and Mike. And he tells him himself, without me being there, he goes, hey, whatever he's saying is 100% true. Whatever he's saying is because you're all family to him. Don't get mad at him. Listen to him. He's saying it for your best interest, right. Not for his best interest, for your best interest. And over the time, they really realized that. And, you know, that's what I'm about. It's all about family. It's all about family. If you're not in my circle, you're not family. You're just somebody that I know.
Right.
You know, you're just somebody that I know. But that's why if you see my hat, that's how you're looking at my hat.
Yeah, more than a barber. I mean, as you were talking, that's literally like
more
I'm reading
than
the
a barber.
hat. I'm like, it's so fucking true.
I live by it.
You really do.
I live by it. So that's what it's about. But that's why I went towards the long-term investment.
You just gave me the title for the podcast.
More than a barber.
That's going to be the title for the podcast.
More than a barber. See it? So my hat, guys.
More than a barber.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can people order those? Do you have those for?
I got them online. Actually, I supported the barber that came out. That came out with it.
I was gonna say, man, like
came out with it.
There's another business
that came out with it, and young guy. I think he's from Phoenix, Arizona, and then came out with it, and I loved it. So
yeah, you had to support it.
I bought a whole bunch of him.
Oh hell yeah!
And I gave some away. I kept some. I just wanted to support him, you know, support the idea. But I love the name.
And I mean, you'll literally. I mean, I've
live
seen
by
it.
it. I live by it. That's why I connected. That's why I went and bought.
You will, if you see something you believe in, even if it's money out of your pocket, you're 100% behind it. 100%. You're like, let me show you some love here.
100%. 100%.
So as we're kind of finishing up on this podcast, do you want to give any shout outs? Do you want to, of course we're going to add in your Instagram and all that, but like, here's your chance. Man
David. That's number one. The best photographer. Me and my family, we never ever had a family photo shoot.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
We still talk about it until today.
We need to do another one.
Soon.
Let's plan it.
My family grew, you know that. Now I got married, my sister got married, my other sister got married. So now we have like 3 extra people.
They're not extra.
We added 3 more people to our family. So we went from 7 people to 10 people now. Yeah.
We had a really good photo shoot. That was a lot of fun.
We did. It was great.
You and your brothers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had a good time. We had a good time. We had a good time, David. So shout out my man David, best photographer. I love the podcast. I actually asked him about to do a podcast.
So actually, guys,
we're just talking shit.
If you made it this far into the podcast, my whole philosophy of Transparency Fitness Live was really to be based around 100%. Really, just fitness-related stuff.
I am into fitness.
And
I'm mentally swole. Physically,
we didn't even jump into his fitness journey. He actually, we used to work it out at the same gym. But I find his business and who he is as a person more interesting than his fitness journey. And so yeah, I came into the barbershop one day and you're like, when are you gonna have me on the podcast?
Yeah,
and I was like, do you want to be on the podcast? And you're like, no, seriously, I want to be on the podcast. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
I just love it, man. Like, really, I really need your help to set up a podcast. We have room upstairs, the middle room.
We could do it.
The middle room.
We can set up
really want to set it up to where it's fucking nice.
We could.
Okay, I want to set up to where it's nice. All you have to do is just click, start, cameras, action, done.
Here's the thing. You're missing the one most important element.
What is it?
Keenan.
Keenan is coming.
You're not taking my technician.
Keenan is fucking coming. You know what my man said? I said, man, what's going on?
He said, that's my family.
He said, man, I'm about to go on vacation. I'm about to quit my job, go on vacation. I said, what the fuck?
He's got it all planned out.
In my head. And he was like, yeah, I'll worry about it when I come back.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what? I fucking love that mentality. Because I'm jealous of the mentality, my man Keenan, because I don't have the mentality. Because I worry so much about other people. I worry so much about my businesses. I worry so much. I'm always thinking. I'm always stressing. I'm always, all the time, calling people, texting people, hey, do you do this? I'm worried about other people. My man, peaceful.
Yeah, Keenan,
that's priceless.
The most positive person you'll meet.
That's fucking priceless. So, Keenan, you come into the fucking Cuts Online kingdom, bro. Yeah, we're bringing you in.
Keenan's just gonna be like making his money off doing being a technician. Yeah. No, seriously.
Shout out my man Keenan for setting up the podcast tonight. Shout out my man Euro Cuts.
Euro Cuts.
Danny G Fades. My brother, his birthday coming up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on Friday.
What are we doing? What are you doing for Danny?
Oh, not a damn thing. Shout out my man Nathan, Nate Nation.
Is that his Instagram?
No.
That should be.
Should be Nate Nation.
Nate Nation.
Shout out my man Chapo, the creator. Frisbee Blends, Mike. Oh my God. Shout out to Z Cuts. Lexington Academy of Barbering. Yeah. Humbling the shit out of me.
Do you want to give out any advice to people? I mean, so I'm hoping people are sitting here listening to this that they're here for the business advice.
People?
Yeah, give out some advice. Some serious advice. Let's get serious.
Never underestimate people. Whoever's sitting in your chair or whoever you're talking to, no matter where you're at. That's number one.
Okay.
Because you never know what they're capable
you really don't.
of, or you never know who they know.
Okay.
Always respect, show love. Positive energy will attract positive people.
Okay.
So I will give that advice. Positive people, positive energy that will give attract positive people.
Yeah, 100%.
Be diverse in what you do. As long as you're making money, invest it. Because we are in an era where we get free content. You get the free content, you can really teach yourself about investing, teach yourself about building generational
So use
wealth.
The tools out there.
There's a lot of tools.
Use them.
Especially use them. YouTube is your best friend. So use that. You know what I mean? Whatever you're into, never underestimate anything that comes across your mind. And always ask questions. Always ask questions.
Be open-minded.
Be open-minded. Don't be judgmental.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
You know? Be open-minded. Never underestimate people, and really.
So a few rapid-fire questions for you, sir.
Talk to me.
Leg day or chest day?
Leg day.
Really?
For sure.
Leg day over chest day.
For sure.
Oh man.
For sure.
All right. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
You make some bomb-ass tea, though. I already knew you were going to say tea. I already knew you were going to say tea. What is the tea that you guys? That shit is good as.
That's going to be on my podcast. That's going to be on my podcast. That's going to be the scenery of me going like this.
That tea's good. It's thick. It fucking gets you. Oh, it's good ass tea.
It's good tea.
I've been a couple times.
So on my honeymoon, I went to Turkey.
Okay.
And I brought a lot of herbs and stuff like that I'm gonna be putting in the tea. Very soothing, very relaxing.
It's good ass tea.
It gets you in the mood.
It's weird though because you guys get it's almost like a shot.
Yeah.
It's not
like
even
a vibe.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole vibe.
It's good. It's good. All right. Morning or evening workouts?
Evening.
Really?
Yes.
So you function better working out at night and then heading to bed?
For sure, because most of the time when I work out, I don't even listen to music. Or if I listen to music, I'm getting all my stress out from the day.
Okay.
Into the workout.
Okay.
So I don't take the energy.
The energy that you need for the workout comes from the day.
Yes.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
All right. Breakfast or dinner?
Dinner.
Really?
Yes.
I love fucking breakfast.
I love dinner.
I love breakfast. Really?
Because dinner, I either eat it like with my mom, eat it with my dad.
Okay, so it's
more about
communication. It's spending time with family. Okay, I totally 100% get that. Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
Why?
It gets the family together. It gets everybody together.
Christmas doesn't?
Christmas does, but where I'm Muslim, so we don't really celebrate it as much.
Right, and that's what I was going to ask.
Thanksgiving for me, but I love the Christmas vibes. But
people be crazy.
Yeah, I love the Christmas vibes.
Okay.
But the Thanksgiving, like where the family gets together. Like I have family that
So
come
what is-
from New York, family come from Chicago, from Cincinnati. We get family from Philly comes in. So in Ohio, people come in together. Everybody coming in together. Everybody cooking. There's a lot of food. I love to eat, David. Love to eat.
I love to eat too.
Yeah, but I have a big belly. You don't.
I still got a belly.
Nah.
I just claim that I'm a heavy lifter and I need a little extra fat to keep hitting on muscle.
not me, bro.
So what is your favorite holiday then? Based on your religion.
I really.
I know you don't
enjoy-
like no Ramadan.
I love Ramadan.
I know you love it, but whew, that takes some
It
dedication
gives me
right there.
Discipline.
It does. And
It's discipline.
it teaches you, right?
It teaches.
Does it humble you?
It humble you a lot. Makes you grateful.
And this guy for real does Ramadan. Like no joke. I remember
I work out on Ramadan.
I remember like the day before Ramadan. I'm in the barber shop and they're literally like they're all sitting around trying to figure out what they're gonna eat the last day before they have to go into Ramadan.
We go all
and
out.
and you, oh my God, you guys, you sent Issa out to get like food from like 5 different because you're like, I'm just gonna gorge and then I'm gonna humble myself for the
Yeah.
next 30 days,
Yeah.
which I think is amazing. I couldn't do it.
It's
Seriously, I don't know.
You can do it.
I could do it, but I'd
can
rather
do
not.
it.
I'd rather not do it.
It's very mentally. It takes like
Yeah.
a toll on your mental.
So,
So
but hey, Fouad, thanks for coming on.
Hey,
It's
no
been a
problem.
blast.
Appreciate you
I'm sure
having
we'll
me.
have you on again.
Thank
There's
you.
probably a whole nother level of shit we could talk about.
this is my first time really experiencing a podcast. I love it. I enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to setting up my own podcast and have you on
gonna
my
steal
own
my idea.
podcast. Yes.
Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping
Thanks
in.
for
and
everybody tuned in.
yeah, we'll catch you next time.